Okay, what we're going to cover here briefly is a grouping of worksheets so that you can perform actions on multiple worksheets at the same time. Now, normally what you're presented with when you see this is a partially completed worksheet that you then go and do some work on. But I thought it'd be interesting to start with nothing and see how you can build up something. So we have 3 worksheets here. We have London, Paris and Wilmington, 3 great metropolises of the world. And what we want to do is to do some work on each of these 3 empty worksheets. Okay, we have to group them. Now, if you hold down Control and you've already selected London, and you click on Wilmington, you see that the word group appears up at the top here in book 1. And you can then select Paris as well, and group still appears. If you click outside of those, and any one of those, they get ungrouped, as you can see. So, and to select the lot, is you select London, hold Shift down, and select Wilmington, and they're all grouped together now. Now, the great thing about this is that you can put in headings like product. Okay. Q1, this is the thing you've seen before, sales. Q2 sales. Move on to the next one, Q3 sales and Q4 sales. Okay, and your product is cars. Whoops. Cars, bikes, trucks, and motorcycles. Okay, so that's quite a long one, so you can make that fit by double clicking here. Okay, so they're your basic things on total. Totals. And totals. Okay, so there you've got some things. You want to make it look nice, so you can highlight this and choose a bold or something like that for your headings, and perhaps down here as well, bold, and have this area filled in with a colour for the 4 things here. Cell styles, so you can choose a nice nice style from here. Okay, let's have it like that. And say you wanted to put in these the cross marks again, well, you could just come in here, all borders, and then you could still have it separated if you want to, and then you could have the this area here a slightly stronger color because it's totals, and again, if you want to, you can put all your borders in, so you can still have it like that. Let's leave it like that for now. Now, the great thing is, if you now go to Paris and Wilmington, they're all identical. So you've just saved yourself the trouble of going and writing all this in and perhaps making a mistake. Okay, so then you can fill these in with the figures. Once they're separate like this, you can go to the London and you can write in London and choose something like I don't know, a cell style for this one. Go back to it again. Sometimes you have to leave the cell and go back in and go to, we'll have everything in one. Okay, and Paris, when we go to Paris, hasn't got that. So we go to Paris because we deselected it. We have to come out, go back in again, cell style, heading 1. Okay, and then Wilmington, exactly the same. Click in it, Wilmington. Click out, click in, cell style, heading 1. So if we now go between these, we can see that they are identical apart from the headings. So anything you do when they're grouped together happens to all of them. But you must remember that everything has to be in the same place, because if it isn't, it will still write, if you write something in C3 in London and they're all grouped together, but they're not identical sheets, then whatever you write in C3 in London will appear in C3 in all the other spreadsheets, the worksheets that you've selected, which you don't necessarily want, because it could overwrite information that you've already got there. So they need to be identical. Okay. So, and these are working completely separately now. So if we put in Q1 sales per cars of, I don't know, 125,000. Oops, 125,000 in Q1, 200,000 into Q2, 245,000 in Q3, and 156,000 in Q4. You can then do a total. Sigma works it out for you, and you have 72,000. Now, we suddenly realize that we want all this area to be a currency. So we can do that without affecting the numbers. So we highlight those to group them again. See, they're all grouped at the top. Highlight this area, and then just choose the dollar sign there, and it turns it all into dollars for us, and all these are going to be okay. So we'll go and do Paris next. In Paris we sold only 100,000, and there it is, dollars. In Q2 it fell to 90,000, and Q3 to 45,000, and in Q4 to 20,000. We're not doing very well. And see, we didn't do the total as a group, and if we highlight them all again, shift and enter, so it's group at the top, we can put in the sigma again, only this time it'll work for Paris too. Now that doesn't mean anything bad, it just means the numbers are too wide for the column, where you just double click it to make it wider. So the Wilmington car sales were staggeringly good. 340,000 just for Wilmington. That's nearly one per person, and just for the first quarter. And the second quarter we sold even more, and the third quarter we sold $750,000 worth of cars. Okay, it's only dollars. So finally we sold $1 million worth of cars. Again, it's too wide, make it one. Now you can see how this is building up, but they are essentially the same format. It doesn't matter about the widths, it's the reference to the cell that's important when they're grouped. Okay. Now if we were to create a new sheet called summary, and you just right click, rename, summary, and then you can choose a tab color for it, a bit purple one this time, and you can see that they're nicely colored. We can say summary car sales, so we can say Q1, and we can say Paris. Sorry, London. London's first, isn't it? Then Paris. Then Wilmington. Okay, London, Paris, and Wilmington. We can say now the contents of this square, this cell, equals, then we click on London, and we click on the total, and we hit enter. And then we do the same for this, equals, Paris, total, enter, equals, Wilmington, total, enter. And you can see that it picks up that it's a currency and automatically makes it a currency. And then we can say total at the end here, and do a sigma, add them all up. So that's our total sales for Q1. Obviously we can do it for all the quarters, but look at the references here. Equals London G4. Okay, London G4. Okay, so that's how you do a three-dimensional reference. You, if we go to the summary sheet, and really we want the summary sheet over here, so we'll have it at the beginning. Just pick it up and move it. So the way that we do it is we put in the name of the worksheet that we want to reference, the exclamation mark, and then the cell reference over to the total. So what we can actually do with these, if we highlight London, Paris and Wilmington and leave the summary out, we can come up here and we can give a reference number to this, we can call it cars underscore total. That's the name that we're going to give to that cell. So if we go back here now, it's cars underscore total. We could, and this is London, so we could have gone to the summary sheet, and where it says London G4, we could actually say London cars underscore total. And it still puts it in for us. Okay, so you can use those defined names. Anyway, that's how you do the grouping, basic grouping, and linking between worksheets.